What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, November 6th, 2023. Holy crap. I am tired. We had a long night last night talking Buckeye football. Me, Jeff, and Sean. Hope you guys joined us. If not, go back and check it out. Okay. Today, we are talking recruiting updates. But quick question for the chat. If you guys could help me out with this one. Before I get to that, if the lights go out, don't worry. Don't freak out. I'm having issues with this light over my computer here. So if it goes out, just relax. I'll have to fuck with it, fiddle with it, get it working. It's kind of I don't know. It just suddenly today decided it's not going to work anymore. So it's off and on. I've got it kind of rigged up with a box of matches and some 3-in-1 oil. No. But seriously, if the lights go out, don't freak out. It'll just take me a second to fix it. Anyways, question for the chat. Just a quick yes or no. Has Ryan Day been arrested yet? Seeing a lot of crazy talk. Just thought I'd ask. Oh, boy, Michigan fans are funny. I can't believe the Unabomber went to Michigan. I mean, these people seem perfectly normal to me. Writing manifestos, making up shit in their brains that makes no sense, getting trolled by other podcasts and YouTube channels. Oh, my. Anyways, all right, so let's get into it. We're about, about a month away from National Signing Day, the first one, the real one now. Nobody does February anymore. So Buckeyes got 22 commits, number 2 overall in the country by average per player ranking. Remember, that's what we go by on the show. We're like 0.01 behind Georgia per player. So right there, neck and neck with the Dogs. So there's a handful, maybe a little bit more than a handful of realistic targets left in this 2024 class, including some flip possibilities. So let's see. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys here we're going to touch on, and then I've got some guys that recently dropped top 5s and stuff, and top 12s or whatever. So they had Ohio State in there. So let's get into it. First off, so here's the list we're going to talk about. Jordan Seaton, number 1 tackle in the country, number 1 5-star. He's looking at, everybody across the country, really. This guy's been on like a world tour for the last couple of months. Then you got Amaris Williams, a D lineman, number 2 ranked D lineman, 4-star. Then you got Chance Robinson, wide receiver out of Florida, current Miami commit. Oh, and Amaris is currently committed to Florida. Then you got Carlin Jones, currently, I believe he's committed to Nebraska, number 4. He's a 4-star. Then you got Deshawn Warner, the current Kansas commit. He's a D lineman, 4-star. Now, a new guy kind of entered the microscope here. Gabe Van Sickle, offensive lineman. He's a 4-star, current Northwestern commit. That will be interesting to see how their program continues to play out the rest of this year. Then Nicholas Rodriguez, linebacker, current commit to Mizzou, but we thought we had him on a flip watch. He's kind of trending the other direction. So let's get into each one of these guys. Jordan Seaton, 5-star tackle. He will visit this weekend for Ohio State's Michigan State game. Buckeyes are going to give him the full court press. Ryan Day, Justin Fry, everybody. Probably Brian Hartline will chime in with his 2 cents and give his best sales pitch. So there is no direction right now as far as where he stands. Like I said, he's been taking visits every weekend. So we'll see what happens. He's from DC, plays down here at IMG in Florida. So really up in the air, and he could go anywhere in the country, honestly. So right now, I can't tell you where he's going. I can't say he's a Buckeye lean at all, but the upside is with only having a few weeks away from National Signing Day, and this is a heavy NIL recruitment. At least we should know what number we have to hit in the NIL area for Seaton. So all the foundations and all that crap, all the NIL guys, they should know what number they need to hit and beat it. So hopefully they can do that. So scrape your pennies together, Schottensteins and everybody else. So we'll see what happens with Jordan Seaton. I'm sure the visit will go well. At least it's a night game, but hopefully it's not chilly. Let's go Amaris Williams next. Larry Johnson has made it clear to Amaris that he is a priority to the Buckeyes. He's a top 100 prospect. Buckeyes are very interested in him, and he seems to be very interested in the Buckeyes. Again, currently committed to Florida. Will be here this Saturday, the 11th, for the Michigan State game. He just took an official visit to Columbus for the Penn State game. So this is very telling to me. He's coming back on an unofficial, on his own dime, just a few weeks after the Penn State game where he took an official. This is a heavy flip candidate in my book. He did visit Florida this past weekend. Buckeyes and Michigan State this weekend, and Tennessee is his last visit. So that will be next week. So I think the Buckeyes have a heavy chance of flipping the North Carolina kid. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one. And again, these visits always go well when kids come in. So should not be a big issue. So that's another D lineman. Hopefully we can add him to the class. Let's talk wide receiver, Chance Robinson. Obviously, the Buckeyes have three with Jeremiah Smith, Jeremiah McClellan, and Mylan Graham. Buckeyes want to go to a fourth wide receiver, though, in the class. And Robinson is a four-star, so he's the caliber that we want, right? Visited the Buckeyes in September and is expected to take an official this weekend for the Michigan State game. So it's going to be a difficult flip because he's a South Florida kid. Those aren't easy, and especially already being committed to the Canes. So we'll see. But again, it's Brian Hartline. I think he has a shot in any recruitment for a wide receiver. So we'll see what happens there. I'll have a list of all the visitors for this weekend when I get through this too. Here's a name you may just now be hearing this week for the first time, Carlin Jones. He's one of the Buckeyes' newest offers. He'll be taking an official this weekend. It's only been like a couple of weeks since Larry Johnson offered him. He's a current Nebraska commit, 6'3", 270. He's your ideal three tech. Ohio State is the only school that he's visiting other than Nebraska this month. So we'll see how the visit goes. If the kid is, receptive to the Buckeyes obviously are going to make him a priority. We'll see how the relationship goes there. But this guy, he's from Bay City High School in Texas. He racked up 73 tackles this year, 22 TFLs, 10.5 sacks, 17 quarterback hurries, and a fumble recovery. And last year, in his junior year, he had 102 tackles, 29 TFLs, and 13 sacks, and a pass batted down. This guy is a monster in the middle, man. Definitely need him. So hopefully Larry can get out the spatula and do a little November grilling. Next up, Deshawn Warner. We talked about him before. He's one of the three D linemen. He's a true defensive end. The others are more like interior guys. He's the Kansas commit. He jumped up from a 3 to a 4-star recently. So he's supposed to be here for this weekend against Michigan State's game. And so we'll see what we can do to flip him away from Kansas. Kansas having a mediocre year. No surprise there. All right. Let's talk O-line now. Gabe Van Sickle. This guy's name is awesome. He's the only O-lineman and he does not have an offer. Not the only O-lineman, but he's the only guy on this list that doesn't have an offer. Northwestern commit. He visited for the Penn State game in October, and that was right after Mark Nave decommitted. So Buckeyes turned their sights pretty quickly on Van Sickle. So this could be. He's not an option instead of Seaton. So if we lose out on Seaton, Van Sickle is not a replacement. This is an in addition. So they're trying to go after 2 O-linemen here, and Van Sickle, could be one, if not one of 2. Nicholas Rodriguez, we talked about him a long time ago. It's been a while. Visited Ohio State a couple months ago. We thought we had a flip in store for him, but Missouri's having a good season. That helps. And so if the Buckeyes are going to flip him, it's going to be a difficult one to get it. They'd have to get him back on campus here in the next 2 weeks. And that doesn't seem likely. So I'm surprised he didn't commit or flip to somebody in Florida. He's dating Jason Taylor's daughter. So there's that. He's current defensive line coach at the U. All right, so let's talk about all the visitors. Let's run through the entire list here for the Michigan State game this Saturday. You got 2024 receiver from Florida, Chance Robinson. That's an official. 2024 Washington, D.C. O-lineman Jordan Seaton. That's an official. And 2024 Texas defensive end Carlin Jones. That's an official. Now you got 2024 North Carolina DN Amaris Williams. That's an unofficial coming back. And then 2025 guys, you got Tavian St. Clair, of course, the Ohio quarterback. Then you got Preston Bowman, the Ohio receiver. He's a 25. 25 Georgia O-lineman Micah DeBose. 25 Florida linebacker Tarvis Alford. And 25 Virginia athlete Terrence Edwards. All right. So let's talk top 5s and stuff. Jonah Williams, he is one of the top linebackers in the 2025 class. He has a top 12 he just released recently. He's a 5-star Texas linebacker. Top 12 consists of Ohio State, Colorado, Oklahoma, Oregon, Bama, A&M, TCU, Texas, USC, Tennessee, LSU, and Arizona State. Didn't see that one coming. Anyway, so that's your top 12 for Jonah Williams. Keep that name in mind when we're talking linebackers. Carter Lowe, 4-star Ohio offensive tackle. He released the top 5 last week. Ohio State, Michigan, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. He is the 154th ranked O-lineman, 13th. That's prospect overall. 13th offensive tackle in the 25 class. He's taken multiple visits to Ohio State. He was here for the Western Kentucky game, the Maryland game, Penn State. Buckeyes are a heavy favorite. He has said this in the past. Some of his quotes are, I love Coach Fry's coaching. We talk about once every 2 weeks. I talk to Coach Hinton a lot too, and he usually puts him on the phone. We have a good relationship, and I like talking to him a lot. I hope I can build my relationship through these couple of years until I commit. Okay, sounds good. Let's talk Zahir Mathis. He is one of the top defensive backs in the 2025 class. He trimmed down his list. He's from Philly. He's a defensive end, 4-star, 40th ranked recruit in the 25 class. He released the top 5 of Ohio State, Florida State, Texas, Tennessee, and South Carolina. 6'6", 225. He was offered back in May by Ohio State. All right. That's your recruiting roundup updates, and I'm going to pop into the chat and see what's going on. Any Michigan fans in here I need to crack on? Anyway, all right. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Ryan Daysbeard in first. Good evening to you, RDB. Billy, what's up? Odysseus, IO to you, sir. Oh, Ryan Daysbeard, yep. Are you saying that Ryan Day has been arrested? You would know, you are his beard, after all. Do they make you shave that when you go into the clink? Seems like somebody should shave you. Anyway, yeah, you're right, RDB. Zach Smith did lead them into that water. Billy says Michigan fans have proven they can easily get unhinged. Worry about them, the team safety going into Ann Arbor. Yeah, a little bit. I think you'll probably have some extra security. Odysseus says, on a serious note, the safety of our players and coaches is compromised by their loon press stirring up the crazies. That they are, yeah, the Pied Pipers, right? Leading the psychos, the media. These guys, I've never heard of any of these guys except Scam Webb. I never heard of that whole guy and that Bayless guy. Never heard of those guys before until this week, or last week, whatever. Arnie's Beard says, if I was a Buckeye fan who has tickets for the game, I seriously wouldn't go. They're going to be hostile to anyone wearing scarlet. Yeah. They should play the game in Toledo. What about that idea? The Glass Bowl? Seems fair. Pam says that Zach Smith should have never started that. I know he was joking, but people are actually believing in this nonsense. Hope it doesn't scare recruits away. Yeah, I think if it's going to scare recruits away from anybody, it's Michigan. I would not. This is a bad look for that entire fan base. I wouldn't be surprised if some kids like change their minds, man, and reopen their recruitment. I know it's getting down to the wire. It might be a little too late for the 24 class, but if I'm a 25 kid, yeah, I'm rethinking that. RDB neutral somewhere in Toledo. We fought Michigan for the Toledo strip, that part of Ohio. Why, I don't know. It's nothing good up there, but anyway. Ryan Daysbeard says, I'm curious what's going to happen with Harbaugh. The media is reporting that Michigan is starting legal action and the Big Ten has backed out of punishment for Harbaugh. I don't think the Big Ten has backed out yet. I don't think anybody's backed out. I think there is going to be some punishment. I think from what we're hearing, it's going to be 48 hours-ish, so middle of this week. If we don't hear anything by like end of day Wednesday, Thursday morning, then yeah, probably no punishment this week. Billy, let's see. Yeah, Odysseus, I'm with you. I haven't heard they're backing down. They give the TCUN 48 hours to respond because a harsher penalty than 2 games is probably levied. Yeah, I think the indefinite suspension is on the table. And maybe it's a matter of negotiating with the Big Ten right now. I just read that, what's his name? Ward Manuel, he's on the CFP committee. He released a statement just a little while ago saying he is not traveling to Dallas to do the CFP committee, dog and pony show. He's staying on campus because he has important matters, apparently. Billy says, no matter what Michigan does on the field, they've lost. Unfortunately, the Big Ten has lost as well. Yeah, I've read some hilarious like message board stuff by those people. They're talking about leaving the Big Ten. Like the Big Ten would be nothing without them. What about the 20 years when we were smashing them every year? Nobody was watching that game, the game, from a national perspective for that 20-year period anyway. What's up, PC? Good to see you. That's right. Beat the TCUNs. He says, what's the latest? Did they form that executive committee to decide their fate yet or not? Well, I think, yeah, the executive committee, I think, has always been there. It's just like, break glass in case of emergency, for these kind of disciplinary things. So I think if we don't hear something by end of day Wednesday or Thursday morning, then I'm a little concerned, but something has to happen. I mean, and you know what? I want to let you guys in on something. I just flipped one of my opinions on this entire matter. When this whole thing started, oh, hey, don't forget to please hit the like button when you come in. Thank you. Hit the like button if you don't want Ryan Day to get arrested. No, that's low blow. So I've changed my opinion on this matter as far as a penalty and everything for Michigan. I think that because the players and coaches have benefited from this cheating, I think I no longer care what happens to the players. I think if they shut down the program right now today and said you could not play another Big Ten game the rest of the year, no Big Ten championship, whatever, I think I'm fine with that because the players and coaches all benefited directly or indirectly. You can't tell me out of 100 players on that roster, 85 scholarship and plus walk-ons, you can't tell me that 100 kids never saw or heard any inkling about these laminated sheets with like guys making the signals and shit, cartoons. They never saw any of these videos from the 45-yard line at Michigan State game or whatever. I think coaches and players are all in the same boat, and I'm treating them as such. Because what about all the other 13 Big Ten teams, their coaches and players? How about C.J. Stroud, screwed out of the Heisman 2 years in a row? What about some coaches losing their jobs possibly, because they lost to Michigan, because Michigan cheated? That's why I say, again, sorry to the players. Maybe you can transfer out. Maybe you get a quick waiver to transfer right now. Whatever. I don't care about that. But I think the players, coaches, all of them are in the same boat. And I think they should be treated the same no matter what. And that's why suspending play for the entire program right now going forward is not a bad idea. So just wanted to let you guys know I've kind of flipped on that. I was concerned about the players at first, but then I sat back and thought about all the other teams in the Big Ten that have gotten screwed. They lost games because of this. Ohio State definitely lost 2 games because of this. And again, like I said, CJ lost 2 Heismans. At least one. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you. You guys are free to disagree. This is an open forum. Michigan fans, you are not allowed to disagree. Back to the chat. Michigan, Billy says Michigan already knows they don't need him on the sideline. 2-game punishment effectively does nothing. Exactly. That's why indefinite suspension, shut down the program entirely, that's my starting point. Randy's Beard says Michigan appears to have scared off the Big Ten with this change of course. That's the headline from 24/7 Sports. Yeah, and the legal action doesn't mean shit. I wouldn't be worried about that. Actually, Michigan should be concerned if this goes to court because discovery could get a little messy if we start cracking open Matt Weiss's computer and bringing that material out. Alex Yud, let's start talking about him in discovery. And we already know what Stallions was doing. So, yeah. I don't think the Big Ten is going to back down one bit. Start asking the other 13 Big Ten schools what they think about that. PC says, I want their OC and DC out too. They were all in on it. Proof. Dude was standing by them at games and whispering in their ears, probably not sweet nothing. Yeah, exactly. Odysseus says you have to inspect their sidelines to prevent them from using illegal obtained info. Yeah. Frisk them all, Odysseus. I want large men, large, muscular men frisking Jim Harbaugh repeatedly. Odysseus at 24/7 Sports main TCUN 24 site. Oh, so is it from the 24/7 main site or the Team Up North site? Yeah, the Team Up North site's garbage. Pam says Chance and JJ Smith are buddies. Seems like he's going to stay loyal to Miami, though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As long as he makes the trip. I don't underestimate Brian Hartline anytime, especially with South Florida kids that are receivers. PC is Scam Webb a real name. Sounds like a web scam, yeah. Sam Webb is his actual name. But Troy, what's up, Troy? Good to see you. It will be a sweeter win when the Buckeyes win at their house. It will. That's one of the drawbacks, you know. If they suspend Harbaugh, then you don't get the handshake after the game at midfield with Ryan Day squeezing that sucker a little harder and saying, "Good game, cocksucker." But can't have everything. You want to. PC says TCUN signed the Big Ten agreement. They have no leg to stand on regarding punishments, legal or not, has nothing to do with it. Yep. Odysseus says Sam Webb is their 24/7 site reporter. Everybody calls him Scam because he's full of poopy. Odysseus, let them go independent. The Withers, yeah. Them and Notre Dame could start their own conference. PC, anybody else think that PSU bites TCUN this week? Maybe. That's going to be a tough one. Best run defense in the country, Penn State, going against a running offense. That's all they do. It's a good question. Troy says in that 20-year period, Penn State was more of a rival to us than those. Exactly. Penn State was more of a rival. But now they're unrivaled. And Michigan's unraveled. Randy's beard. That's what I want. OC, DC, HC, they're all equally responsible. Billy says Michigan can file a civil suit, but they would have to then admit some ugly stuff in the courts. Yes. Discovery, everybody's friend. I hope Petiti calls Ono's bluff. Yes, that's a good point. PC says RDB. Yes, that's right. Fuck them all. Pam says last thing I read on it said Big Ten wasn't going to deal with it. They were going to let NCAA deal with it, but who knows? Yeah, that is a cop-out, if that's true. That is a cop-out by the Big Ten, which would not surprise me. Notorious copper outers. Randy's beard says, I hope they get smashed by Penn State and Ohio State. Yes, sir. Wouldn't break my heart. Odysseus says Bama's probably pissed because they were number 5 last year and left out. Exactly. See, they affected everything. And don't forget, you know, Stallions was supposedly helping Central Michigan on the sidelines. That's a rumor out there when he was caught with his recording glasses. And he was also supposedly helping South Carolina in that Tennessee game. So it stretches far and wide. Pam says, totally agree. They all need punished. There's no way they couldn't know, especially Jim and O-line coach. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stallions is over there whispering in both coordinators' ears. If you're a player, you're like, wow, this guy must know some stuff. I better respect him. So you're going to start listening to fucking Stallions. Picture that. And also, Stallions is a perfect example of do not employ fanboys like super fans in your freaking program. Like you should go through background checks are a great idea. See Matt Weiss and Alex Good. But I think you got to you gotta go through your staff with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure these guys aren't wearing like Ohio State underwear or something weird. You know, you can't have fanboys in your staff. They're going to do something rogue, something stupid like this. Maybe it wasn't rogue in this case with Stallions, but they're going to get you in some fucking trouble, obviously. And again, might want to incorporate a good background check here and there. Billy says CJ doing okay now, though. Yeah, exactly. That's why I think he was screwed out of a Heisman. More evidence. PC says, still haven't heard anything about them stealing our practice footage since you put it out there. No, we haven't. But who knows? I mean, that's one of those things that, can you prove it, you know, or do they have the evidence? Do they want to? I mean, I don't even know if any of the reporters like Pete Thamel and Ross Dellinger and these other guys that are investigating it, I don't know if they have that info. But it's out there. I've seen it in a lot of places. I think if you go to discovery in a court case, that's definitely going to come out. I don't see how it doesn't. PC says if they do shake hands, Ryan Day should stink bomb it. Yes. There you go. Matthew, what's up, Matthew? Good to see you. Matthew's with you, PC. Matthew Miller's taking Penn State this week. PC says, don't forget PSU hates TCUN and will be in their own house. There'll be juice for that one. See, that's another thing. Don't get me started on this fucking Michigan team. Anyway, why is this not a whiteout? Why is this not a whiteout? Has Michigan ever played in a whiteout at Penn State? I don't remember it. But I have the memory of a goldfish, so just kidding. I actually do have a very good memory. Just don't ask my wife. It seems like this should be the ultimate whiteout game, right? I mean, you got all this drama, all the fucking storylines. Instead, it's fucking big noon kickoff. Students won't be in there till 12:05. Anyway, PC says, good point, Joe. TCUN is going to bring other programs down with them. Yep. Billy says Penn State has momentum from spanking Terps. They did beat the shit out of them. Wow. Glad I took Penn State now. PC says, makes you wonder who across the country had some stuff going on like this. I highly suspect TCUN was not the only one. Yeah, I mean, it is 2023. I mean, you could have been doing this for a long time if you're another rogue, quote unquote, ex-Marine or whatever. Seems like that could happen anywhere. Odysseus says if the Big Ten does nothing, Petiti will be out of a job. Yeah, I think the other university presidents are going to be pissed. ADs, obviously coaches. I think if Petiti does nothing, see, Petiti is your Roger Goodell of the Big Ten. He is there to take the slings and arrows from the media, from the fans, you know, take all the negativity, but he's there to protect the Big Ten schools, all of them. And when you got one school being a bunch of douchebags like Michigan, breaking rules blatantly and repeatedly for years, and the other 13 schools, the presidents, the ADs, the coaches are all piling on Petiti saying, you got to freaking do something here, man. I don't know how you side against the 13 schools. You know, I don't care if it's Ohio State, if the shoe were on the other foot. Yeah. Penalize them, man. Get them off the freaking field. Odysseus says he works for the school presidents and they're pissed. There you go. Randy's beard. If the stuff is true with Central Michigan and South Carolina, you know, they're sweating watching this going on and wondering if this affects them. Well, isn't it weird? We haven't heard shit from Central Michigan in how many days? The sign stealer guy, which Jim McElwain suddenly doesn't know, even though they were both on the Michigan staff at the same time for a year. Randy's beard. Got you. Kang remembered in time. Cool name, all right. CJ success in the NFL definitely screams that Team Up North were cheating. We would have had 2 Big Ten titles and maybe a national title. Yep. Exactly, man. I'm right there. PC agreed. TCUN is completely out of control right now. What is their culture anyway? Michigan man thought that was supposed to be of high character. Guess not. No, they're characters. Just because they are characters doesn't mean they have character. Odysseus says Michigan man is an oxymoron. This in 19 I don't know. Odysseus, your shirt's on the way, bud. PC, sure it will be a whiteout. I'm sure if they could fire that one up in a heartbeat. Yeah, hope so. Matthew says always 3 p.m. games. Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of times they play right in the middle of the day. RDB, it wasn't a whiteout for us last year, though. Yeah, that's true. Gosh, I thought it was. I'm thinking of 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. Odysseus, Fox is helping TCUN as their COO is an alum. It's way too many acronyms. Yeah, I know. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, the COO of Fox, how much power does he have over the Big Ten? PC says ESPN is showing 50.7% chance of winning for Penn State. I wonder can they factor in sign stealing into that equation? How do you think that works? Curious. Matthew says it's bigger than scum. Watch why it's not been dealt with since with its Central Michigan scar. It's more. Okay. I think you're right. I think there is more. It's just a matter of time. Vegas, PC says Vegas projects a TCUN win by 3.5. I like those odds, seriously, not just taken out of my ass. Billy says NCAA is now officially investigating CMU silent stuff as well. I saw that, yeah. Pam says we got hammered for selling tattoos, and that didn't even affect anything on the field. Yeah, exactly. Odysseus. So 2019 was the last whiteout? Huh. I remember we were there for COVID. Then we went to Penn State during COVID and there was nobody. Like they didn't ESPN like pipe in fake crowd noise and shit in 2020. Matthew says I work in Michigan every day. Scum fans are unreal. Right there, Toledo, Ann Arbor, Detroit, and idiots are an understatement. Yeah. Matthew, I was saying that we should have the Ohio State Michigan game in Toledo in the Glass Bowl. What do you think of that idea? Neutral field. That way you don't have the psychos in Ann Arbor, trying to take out our dudes or putting a pipe bomb in a bus or something. I don't trust those fuckers anyways. So I think we meet them halfway almost in the Glass Bowl. Ryan Days Beard says Penn State did the day game stripe out. Oh yeah, for the Ohio State game last year. I remember that. Said I had to go to a wedding when it started and I was pissed. It sucks, man. Fall weddings. You know how you fix that? Don't have any friends. PC says, I'm sure the sign stealing wasn't factored in. I think factoring that in, you give PSU an additional 15%. Okay. Forgot to check the phone lines. Anybody want to call in? You're welcome to call in. We'll be here till about 5:30 Eastern. Okay. Matthew says play it at the Brown Stadium. Fine with that. Sure. Yeah, the Toledo Award. Yeah. Winner gets Toledo. We fight in the Glass Bowl. The winner gets the Toledo strip. We don't really need it, do we? I mean, but then I'd have to say I was born in Michigan. Yeah, we can't have that. So I was born in Toledo. Yeah, Pam, you're asking the key question. Are you gonna be safe? Not only that, but are you gonna feel safe going to the game in Michigan? Yeah, I would be concerned. Sean lives up there. He lives in Detroit. His daughter goes to East Landfill. She's a Sparty girl. Kang says, since the new revelation of Team Up North sign stealing, Ryan Day deserves an apology. Yeah, all the BS headlines that that Michigan's beat writers and website blog writers are putting out there about Ryan Day is fucking offensive, honestly. Yeah, Billy, people once fought over Toledo. It's at the beginning of the rivalry documentary on HBO. That's all I know. I never really cared. Matthew says, get the Cleveland idiots going. we all know some of them. Oh, yeah. I'm related to some of them. My dad used to be a psychopath for the Browns. He finally chilled out in like his 70s. Jesus. Yeah, Ryan Day's beard says he wouldn't attempt going up to Michigan for the Buckeye game. They're unhinged as hell. PC says, Kang, you're right. Our whole team deserves an apology from last year and the year before. We were all down on our guys. Yep. And the entire Big Ten. I mean, don't stop with just Ohio State and their players. I think that's where the penalty comes in. And then an apology on top of that to the entire conference and their players, coaches, everybody. I mean, it's not just us. You know, this is a bigger issue than just Ohio State versus Michigan. You know, Matthew says, yeah, I live in Temperance, Michigan, literally town north of Toledo. All right, up there by isn't there used to be a horse track up there, just north of Toledo? That might have been actually in Toledo. Odysseus says, the way TCUN president is acting, they're still cheating and will until punishment. Yeah. They're trying to take on Harbaugh's personality, you know, deny, fight back. Don't give in. Yep. RDB has it nailed right here. This quote: they cheated us 2 years in a row and then started Ohio soft. Straight up bullshit. Yep. Exactly. And they still try and say that soft shit. So annoying. PC says, I remember thinking out RD just rolled over and died in the second half last year. Turns out they were just ripped off. Exactly. Yeah. Billy says, hey, I'm an ex-Cleveland idiot. PC says, correction, Joe, nothing is bigger than Ohio State, Michigan. No, I'm not saying anything is bigger, but I'm saying they don't just owe us an apology. They owe the entire Big Ten. Hell, everybody they played, in my opinion, they owe an apology. Even Bowling Green, they're on the list. UNLV. Pam says, yeah, they're acting like the victim. Scumbags make me sick. Yeah. PC says, you're right, Odie. They will keep doing it until they are broken. RDB says Michigan needs to do a stadium tour of the teams affected, and half time should be a speech apologizing for their behavior. There you go. Now that's a tour I can get behind. They can have T-shirts and shit. The redemption tour. Perfect. See, those morons were ahead of their time with the redemption tour a few years ago. But I like the idea, Ryan Day's beard. Matthew says, not since I moved from Steubenville, Ohio, that I know of. PC, I got you, Joe. You're right. This is a huge deal and affects the entire Big Ten. Odysseus says that's why Beavis had such a smirk when asked about playing Ohio State before the game last year. He knew. You know, he knew he had a Stallions in his back pocket. That sounds weird. Stallions. Can't have those guys on your staff, man. I know they will work 24/7 for you and get up in the middle of the night and bring you a hot cup of coffee or whatever, but you can't have them on your staff. This is the kind of shit that happens, man. Can't do it. It's a good point, Billy. He says, I wonder if the scandal will affect JJ's Heisman chances. Yeah. Let's double check on JJ, see if he's still leading here. Football, NCAA futures, Heisman. Oh, JJ has dropped like a rock. Okay, here's your current Heisman odds as told by betonline.ag. Michael Penix Jr. plus 160, your leader. Bo Nix plus 185. Jordan Travis plus 750. Notice I haven't said JJ yet. JJ McCarthy plus 1,000. Carson Beck plus 1,100. Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 1,400. And Ollie Gordon II plus 1,600. Who the hell is that? I don't know. I've never heard that name before, I don't think. Anyway, JJ has dropped to fourth in just 1 week. So I would say, Billy, yes, the scandal has affected JJ's Heisman campaign. PC asks if anyone watched the TCUN Perdon't game. What happened there? Perdon't give up or what? Hey, Perdon't covered. And for that, I'm thankful. Kang says, could be TTUN has given our signs to Georgia because we really did have that game, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't seen any speculation there yet, but nothing would surprise me at this point. PC says if TCUN runs the table, it won't affect JJ at all, but I think the odds of that happening are slim to none. Billy says, I don't watch TTUN if I don't have to. PC says I would not doubt it, Kang. RDB says JJ will wear his dumbass free. I know, the dumbass free Harbaugh shirt. He's benefited a lot from this. That would be a tainted Heisman for sure. But it would be nice to go take it back from him. I mean, if Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken back, JJ definitely should. PC says, who the hell is Ollie Gordon? That's what I said. Matthew says that's robbery for Harrison not to be top 3. I agree. But he's just outside. You know, he's just behind JJ. PC says backup kicker for App State. I guess so. Odysseus says Purdue outrushed them and JJ didn't have any TD passes. Yeah. I find it interesting that they're using Donovan Jackson as like a slot receiver, not as a tailback. He's freaking good, man. It's more of a threat than Blake Corum out of the backfield. Anyway, Billy says Oklahoma State running back. Oh, that's Ollie? Okay. Thanks, Billy. Appreciate you. Hey, folks, got anybody showing up late? Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Randy's Beard says they covered and Michigan played their starters all game long. Thank you, PC. Says good point about Reggie Bush. RDB says I'm hopeful if he doesn't he goes to New York with a Buckeye and they laugh in his face after a Buckeye win like Hutchinson did to Stroud. Yeah. The thing is, the Buckeyes have too much class. Archie Griffin's not going to get up there and talk shit to JJ. Eddie George isn't going to do that. You know, all the other Buckeyes. So like Desmond did. But I need a drink of water. Let me see what the latest is here. Oh, okay. According to Burt McMurphy, Michigan has received notice from the Big Ten indicating specific sign stealing allegations. Hello? But it does not indicate what penalties would be administered, sources said. has until Wednesday to respond to Big Ten, source said. See if I can read the rest of this. It's getting cut off. 1 second. Yeah. It's the world we're in. We're listening to freaking Brett McMurphy, right? Anyway, he says the Big Ten's pursuit of penalties against Michigan and or Jim Harbaugh is viewed as a PR stunt, in quotes, in response to public pressure and in light of the conference's lack of action up to this point, source said. Will legally fight any disciplinary actions which potentially could block any suspensions from occurring this season, sources said. You lose credibility when you keep saying sources after every freaking sentence. Brett Stashman. Okay. Adam Rittenberg of ESPN is also confirming that Michigan has received a formal notification from the Big Ten of potential disciplinary action. So this is the first step in the league's sportsmanship policy, which you probably heard way too much about recently. Send this off. Okay. The AP now has a story. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, that an ex-college football staffer shared documents with Michigan showing a Big Ten team had the Wolverines signs. So there's that. I'll post the link here in the chat. Read it after the show, please. Oh, there's some good ones. DC, what are your plans for this week, Joe? Oh, well, first, I have to get my nails done. Then I have to get my hair done. No, work, a little bit of work, cranking out content, keeping you guys happy. That's my job. RDB says Desmond Howard's a goof. Yes. Lord Vad. Well, I can't pronounce that. Lord, we'll just call you Lord. Says, is Harbaugh on the spectrum or am I? I think it's Harbaugh. It's not you. It's him. But excellent question. I've been asking myself that for years. Billy says it was the complete idiot known as Desmond Howard. Yeah. RDB says they'll use every bit of that 48 hours dragging this out. Yeah. Yeah, their legal team is combing through every document and everything they can find. PC says leading up to 11:25, I'd like to hear from common opponents as to who played them tougher. Yeah. I wish the coaches would talk more, especially the ones that have already played Michigan, right? Did have Matt Rule had a nice little quote earlier. He mentioned that they were scouted. Yeah, PC, he says we can read the stats, but if you ask them how it felt, that should give us a better idea, unless it was a loss to TCUN before they got caught, right? This says they signed an agreement with the Big Ten. They can't do any injunction. I gotta agree with that one. Yakov, what's up, Yakov? Says will eventually vacate 21, 22, and 23 seasons, although that won't happen until after the season. Yeah. I know. Kind of pointless, isn't it? You're going to take back the Big Ten trophies too? They can keep those old Big Ten East co-champs trophies, though. that they were so proud of. They can keep that one. That was made up anyways. I think Harbaugh's dad told him to do that. RDB says they will say it's Ohio State. What's the over-under on that? LOL. PC says no one wants a potential team sent to the CFP knowing that it might be vacated eventually anyways. Imagine FSU or WSU don't get in because TCUN takes their spot. A lot of dollars involved too. Yep, exactly. Yakov says college game day used to be must-see TV. You would now have to pay me to even watch 5 minutes. It's now must-not-see TV. Same here. I don't watch that show. Pat McAfee's not enough to get me to watch that because he's got dumbass Desmond sitting right next to him. Kang says it's interesting how no team has scored 20 points on the Silver Bullets, but yet everyone thinks Georgia's the #1 team. Crazy. Yeah, that's a good point. Excellent point, Kang. I agree with you there. PC says TCUN equals admit nothing, deny everything, and make counter accusations. Yeah. Sounds like their fan base, right? It's right in line with what we've seen over the last few weeks. Kang says Missouri scored 21 on Georgia. Yeah. That was a good game till they threw that first pick and then they threw the second one in the fourth quarter. I was watching that. It was a good one. Let's go back here and see if there's any new news. Oh, okay. So this AP article was written by a guy named Larry Lage between the Vag. He's an AP sports writer located where? Ann Arbor, Michigan. So even though he works for the AP, you can't believe anything. Can't believe these fuckers. Wall Street Journal had that story about Harbaugh's contract being rescinded a couple weeks ago. That's completely made up. So even these big journos, capital J journalists, no, still don't get it. Let's see. Yeah, I think Michigan administration told him to publish that article, thinking that it will give them some kind of clout chasers. Just reading a quick little post here. The Big Ten, this is a good point here. The Big Ten is trying to get Michigan to do the right thing, meaning self-imposed, but Michigan doesn't know how to do that. Good point. That's about it. Yeah. Finish up here on the chat and get out of here. PC asked Joe, what do you think is going to happen to TCUN? What do I think or what do I hope? Those are very different things. Hope in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first. No. I think the Big Ten does something. I think at bare ass minimum, you see them come with 2 games. So that means Penn State, and then I think Maryland is after that for Michigan. So he's back for the game against the Buckeyes. So I think I'd be shocked. I honestly don't think they're going to come with an indefinite suspension. I don't think that Petiti has the cannolis to come with an indefinite. I hope that happens, but I don't think it will. This guy's not, a seasoned vet at the job. He's not Jim Delaney, who's been in it for 20, 30 years or whatever. He's been in it since April in the job. So, but I do think you'll hear something by Thursday morning, one way or another. I don't know if it's going to matter to take Harbaugh off the field for Penn State and Maryland. I don't know if it matters at all if you take him off the field for Ohio State. I don't know. Seems like his coordinators are the ones doing all the work. Just make one of them manage the game, or something like that. RDB throwing in his 2 cents. He says nothing will probably break till later this week. Most likely coach against Penn State. Yeah, it's very possible. But yeah, I hope they come with a heavy hand, because just judging by the outcry and the frustration by the other 13 schools. Here we go. And you are gone. Blue Wolverine, we never got to know you, but I'm sure you're an asshole. So anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I wish there would have been more Wolverine fans for me to block, but yeah, exactly, Kang. And I still want to know what's going on with Weiss's computer. I'd like to know exactly. Let's hear some reports on what exactly was on that computer. So, yep. The OC, DC, all of them got to go. Agree with you, PC. But, yeah. Brian Days Beard says that Harbaugh did his normal presser today, acted totally normal, like it was business as usual. By totally normal, you mean he acted like a weirdo, right? Dude, so makes me uncomfortable just seeing him on TV. Yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here, go pour a drink. It's been a long one. So she said, oh, you blocked him too, RDB. Okay, good job. Appreciate you. Anyways, appreciate you guys. We'll be back Wednesday afternoon, same bat time, same bat channel, 4:30. Keep it locked in here for your daily blitzes and all the good stuff. And we'll be here Friday as well. So I'll talk to you later. Go Bucks.